All right, Jason, go ahead and hit us with 15 through 11.
My headphones are falling apart. Hold on one second. I'll cut this from the episode. The little silicone protector just fell off my headphone, and I do not want to just stick the raw plastic in my ear because I'm a civilized person. Um, let's see. Okay, yeah. I've got it prepped to send to you guys. So here you go with 15 through 11. At number 15, Candace Parker gets the 2K cover. Number 14, Stanford wins the NCAA tournament. Number 13, Stanford and South Carolina in their Final Four finish. Number 12, the dominant Griner block to eliminate the Aces in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And number 11, the unveiling of Asia Wilson's statue.
Cool.
It is wild to consider so far. We've read 10 of these off. We haven't even hit our top 10, and I'm already like thinking about how solid all of these moments were for women's basketball. I actually don't own an Xbox, but I bought a GameStop copy of NBA 2K22 simply just to have the Candace Parker cover. That's like what people who haven't listened to our show from the beginning need to understand is that the entire reason why we have this show and how this all came about was a discussion that Steve started about NBA Live, including the WNBA in their game, and what that Twitter discussion turned into, and then like that Twitter discussion leading to road trips and then a podcast, and here we are literally 5 years later still talking about all this. So I think that it was such a big moment, I think, for us personally and us as a show to recognize, hey, this is not just, hey, we're including it into a game, but this has got the cover, and Candace Parker and everything that surrounded her this season. I think it's just very apropos that sits prominently there on our list.
Yeah, there's one that stands out to me in this run of ones that I want to touch on for a minute, and that's I want to talk a minute about Brittney Griner, who made a pretty aggressive run at the MVP towards the end of the season and motivated that team, pushed that team to a finals run, and ousted the Aces in a really great series with a block that I think is like a career-defining highlight.
Yes.
Like the way that she played in the season and the postseason, especially after the Olympic break, and then ending that it was a 2-point game. Asia Wilson drove to the rim, got blocked. It was basically like that's the end of the season for the Aces. It felt to me like the way we're going to talk about Brittney Griner is either going to shift or it's finally going to match what we knew she was capable of all this time, but didn't necessarily see in the past couple seasons. So I was really excited to see that kind of earn a spot on this list, especially just because I think Phoenix's run to the finals deserves mention. It was one of the biggest storylines of the year. And a lot of it was because of her. And I think if there wasn't a more obvious MVP, I think Jonquel Jones got like 47 of the 48 MVP votes. Like she was near unanimous MVP. If it wasn't such a obvious, like the Sun have been the best team all year and she's been the best player with the best stats, like it's pretty impressive to me that Griner actually like tried to make it a conversation. And it was fun to see her kind of grow up this year after a lot of years wondering if the effort was there for her. And it ended another year of the Aces championship window a little bit early, which is something we're going to watch in the future. So,
yeah, the Griner, that moment was insane. And it's just one of those pieces that was indicative too, especially with Asia being involved, which takes me to this is I actually have two main thoughts. And one is, this isn't a gripe, but this would be like, if I was listening to this list, I would jump in on this. And that's, to me, the Asia statue is top 5 for me. Like by far, I legitimately, I look back at that moment and maybe it's because it's a literal beacon because it's a statue. It's such a symbol of what this entire year was, of just like, we're going to finally put this on the map. And that's what it felt like to me. The speech was amazing. Obviously the statue is, maybe I'm overselling this word, but magnificent. It's a fantastic piece of architecture, and I can say that because I've seen very bad statues in my time. See Cristiano Ronaldo's first statue that went up. It's a problem, but like that was huge for me. And then also the fact that like it was so nice to see an organization emblemize a female athlete who didn't have to go to the moon and back to get that type of recognition. You know, at USC, you know, the story of Cheryl Miller is almost mythic. She doesn't have a statue, right? And it's like, you know, you have Pat Summitt and you have A'ja Wilson, and it's kind of a really cool special thing. Now, this was a hard year because it was stuffed with so many iconic on-court moments and off-court moments. So, but that's where it stood to me. But I gotta say, that Stanford, South Carolina finish is so good that it's a spot ahead of Stanford winning the championship, and I agree with it.
No, I agree with it too.
I was going to point that out too.
That's how insane that finish was.
Yeah.
Is that it beats the team who won the title, and I totally agree with it. Because I went back and watched it last night and I still have goosebumps. It's so insane. And it's funny because it's the most goosebumpy I've ever felt about a finish that wasn't a net positive. Because a basket wasn't made. It wasn't like a game winner. It's kind of a game loser. But it was nuts because you're so used to the inbound foul, go to the line, that to see this like fumble to steal to like nearly miss a pass and then get the pass and then miss a layup. And then your A1 steak sauce player is in position to win it all and it not go down. It was just, I remember, were we on stream watching that? Or were we watching something else?
I'm
trying to remember if we streamed that one.
I don't remember.
I remember just yelling at my screen the entire time. It was insane. That finish was just so classic. And it just got me excited all over again, just especially with how Leah Boston's recovered from that and how well she's playing this year. I can't wait for March.
I'll put it this way.
It gets you so excited for March.
That Final Four has changed each of our real life plans this March. Like,
like it was so right after that happened, we all messaged each other like, we can't miss another Final Four.
We have to be there.
We need to make this happen.
we got to do it. That was it was awesome. So wherever that was put on the list, the fact that it's overseed Stanford winning the title itself, it's almost fitting because like that moment was so freaking cool. And I think we're gonna have some other call outs to that tournament. I hope because I'm excited to talk about them. But I'm glad we got a chance to emblematize that finish because it was just nuts.